New York City has a serious rat problem, but they have a solution: hiring a Rat Czar. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. This episode is sponsored by Incogni. Now, you probably know that companies are collecting your personal data, but you may not realize just how many. Dozens, maybe hundreds, most of which you've never heard of, and you have no idea what they're doing with your data. Incogni helps you stop them. I'll explain more at the end. So, New York City has a major rat problem. Over 2 million rats live there. For context, there are only 8 million people in New York City. Rats have become so commonplace that there are even local celebrity rats, like Pizza Rat, Buddy the Rat, and Matt Damon. And as bad as it's been, it's actually getting worse. Rat sightings in New York City have increased 71% since 2020. To help deal with the issue, a group of anti-vermin vigilantes patrol the streets and hunt rats with dogs. That's right, vigilantes. New York City has so many rats that instead of getting a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, they got friendly neighborhood canines ripping diseased rodents to shreds in the middle of the street. I'm surprised kids don't prefer to dress up as that on Halloween. I'm actually not joking, because in a small island in New Zealand, 40 children, some as young as 5, participated in a rat-catching competition, and they killed over 600 rats. Forget using dogs or cats. New York City should just unleash a pack of New Zealand first graders to deal with the issue. But I guess the city wants to try something more humane, so last month, New York City Mayor Eric Adams signed the Rat Action Plan, a 4-pronged piece of legislation intended to do away with rats in the city once and for all. He said, "Rat-free streets are vital to vibrant neighborhoods and our city's economic recovery, and I thank the City Council for their partnership in keeping our city squeaky clean." Really, squeaky clean. I'll be making the rat puns around here, Mr. Mayor. Calling New York City squeaky clean is like calling Pete Davidson celibate. Part of the Rat Action Plan involves cleaning up the streets. Starting in April 2023, New Yorkers will be required to start placing their trash on the curb after 8 p.m. for pickup. The current law lets them start placing it out at 4 p.m. And you literally get fined by the garbage police if you put your trash out too early. Ask me how I know. The idea with this new law is that with garbage on the street for fewer hours, rats will have less food and starve. However, building superintendents feel this plan won't be that effective. After all, rats are pretty good at finding food. Some felt like Adams wasn't serious about killing rats. These people obviously didn't see in 2019 when Adams, then Brooklyn Borough president, showed off a rat drowning trap and several rat corpses to horrified reporters. That's one step shy of mounting rat heads on spikes like a vermin version of Vlad the Impaler. Well, Mayor Adams showed just how serious he was about getting rid of rodents when New York City posted a job listing looking to hire a Rat Czar. What exactly is that? And what does it entail? I'll tell you about it after the break. Welcome back. To combat their centuries-old and increasingly worse rat problem, New York City posted a job listing looking for a director of rodent mitigation. A City Hall spokesman described this position as a Rat Czar. Is that how New York City plans to solve its problems now? Appointing a czar for every issue? In that case, I've got some suggestions. Forget rats. Here are some czars for things the city really needs to get rid of. The bottomless crosswalk puddles czar, the Times Square czar, the finance bros czar, and most of all, the "we are being momentarily held by the train's dispatcher" czar. I understand that very few of you will get that last joke. That joke was for me. Anyway, back to the Rat Czar. The job listing itself recognized how ridiculous a position and title this was and decided to have some fun with it. It listed qualifications and requirements such as a killer instinct and a general aura of badassery. And what's not to laugh at? I mean, it's not like rats have ever caused any issues, right? As silly as this posting was in places, it's a serious position. This will be a high-ranking City Hall job, as the Rat Czar will report directly to the deputy mayor. They will also make between $120,000 and $170,000 a year. $170,000 a year? In that case, I think I should be the next Rat Czar after all. No one has more of an aura of badassery than me. So will this Rat Czar be able to finally put an end to New York City's most annoying infestation? Besides tourists that insist on standing in the middle of the sidewalk to take Instagram photos. Keep moving, I'm walking here. According to Ernie Skicky, an expert on tracking and capturing rats who's worked in pest control for 27 years, New York City is fighting a losing battle that the rats are going to win. Hard to disagree with him considering that less than a week after posting the Rat Czar job listing, Mayor Adams was fined for a rat infestation at one of his Brooklyn properties. I guess the rats tried to make him look bad, but Adams got that fine promptly dismissed. Because the only thing that plays dirtier than rats is politicians. Where's our New York politicians czar? But if you're hoping to become New York City's Rat Czar, I'm sorry to tell you that the position has been filled. By Ernie Skicky. You know the guy who said New York City would lose its battle with rats? They literally hired a guy to get rid of the rats in New York City who said you couldn't get rid of the rats in New York City. Who made that decision? Was it someone being piloted by a rat under the cap like in Ratatouille? In fairness, Skicky said New York wouldn't be able to win the war against rodents using their current methods. Hopefully, under his czarness, czarship? Czardency? Things can improve. At least New Yorkers can take solace in knowing that somehow the Big Apple isn't the most rat-infested city in America. That dubious honor belongs to Chicago. You just never hear about it as much because Chicago's pizza rat drowned in dough before he could become a celebrity. And if this new Rat Czar isn't effective at killing the rats, New Yorkers can always just unleash the New Zealand first graders on them. And this episode has been sponsored by Incogni. Whenever you do anything online, there's a huge number of companies that collect your personal data. Your name, your email, your address, your private phone number, all sorts of things. And what are they doing with your data? They're buying it, selling it, and trading it like you're a commodity. If all they do is use it to sell you products, you're lucky. Some of them use it to adjust your credit score, or potentially more nefarious things. And if any of these companies get hacked, you could be in big trouble. For example, earlier this year, Shields Healthcare Group was hacked. Data belonging to 2 million patients was stolen, including patients' names, social security numbers, home addresses, billing info, and private medical data. That's pretty scary. And if a big healthcare group can be hacked, so can all the smaller companies that buy and sell your data. This is why I signed up for Incogni. It showed me that more than 100 data brokers had collected my private information. Incogni forces these companies to delete your data. There are laws that allow you to do this, but if you want to do it yourself, you'd have to figure out all the applicable laws, write letters in a specific legal way, and follow up to make sure your instructions are followed. Incogni handles this for you. So far, Incogni has already gotten my details removed from 72 of these data brokers, and they've still got a lot more in progress. And I didn't have to do anything after signing up. So check out Incogni using the link below, or go to incogni.com/uncovered. The first 100 people to use the code UNCOVERED will get 20% off. Get your personal data off the market with Incogni. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.